Soft winds carry us through time, where forgotten voices whisper of ancient struggles and sacred devotion. Tonight, we drift together into stories of holy battles, moments where faith and courage intertwine, shaping worlds long past. Let us move slowly, breathing in the quiet strength of those who fought not just with swords, but with hearts devoted to higher truths. Across deserts, mountains, and starlit rivers, we glimpse temples once alive with chanting, armies marching under sacred banners, and the gentle wisdom that guided every act. In this journey, there is no haste, only the serene rhythm of history unfolding like a lullaby. Let us lay down our thoughts and wander softly through these tales. With each story, let the mind float, the body relax, and the soul remember the beauty hidden in devotion and courage. Tonight, the echoes of the past will carry us into a gentle, deep sleep. If you feel the calm washing over you, you can quietly comment where you're listening from, or simply close your eyes and let the stories guide you. Subscribe if these gentle journeys help you drift into sleep each night. The first light of morning stretches gently over the horizon. Soft amber and pale rose colors flow across quiet hills, and the air is calm, carrying the faint scent of dew and earth. A thin mist clings to the valleys, curling around stones and trees like a gentle shawl. In this serene world, the echoes of ancient devotion awaken quietly, like a whisper brushing against your mind. Along winding paths, warriors once walked, not with anger but with hearts filled with prayer. Their sandals pressed softly into the damp earth, and every step was a rhythm, a quiet offering to the unseen, the sacred, the eternal. Light touches their shields, glinting as if they too are part of the sunrise. These shields, carried not for pride but for purpose, reflect a calm courage that rises as naturally as the sun. You drift past a small temple perched on a hill, its walls washed in the soft gold of dawn. Smoke curls from a tiny incense burner, twisting slowly into the air. The scent is gentle, sandalwood myrrh, a touch of jasmine, and it settles over the landscape like a soft promise. Birds, small and quiet, stir in the trees, their wings brushing the morning mist, carrying songs that speak of hope and devotion. Even the distant rivers seem to move with a mindful rhythm, reflecting the awakening light as they carry their waters toward unknown horizons. In these lands, long before cities claimed the valleys, small groups gathered in devotion. They raised banners not to conquer but to honor. Each symbol embroidered upon cloth, each emblem painted upon wood held stories of the divine. Some spoke of protection, some of wisdom, and others of courage found not in battle alone, but in the steadfastness of the spirit. These banners fluttered in soft winds, moving slowly, like the breath of the earth itself. The warriors' steps echo softly against stones polished by time. Their hands rest lightly upon their shields, their fingers brushing over carved symbols, spirals, stars, and simple lines that hold meaning deeper than words. Each mark tells of faith, of trust in the unseen, of courage quietly nurtured in the heart. They walk together, yet not hurriedly, as if the very air around them reminds them of patience and balance. Above, the sky opens gradually, a delicate canvas of pale blue and soft gold. Clouds drift lazily, and a few early birds trace arcs across the light, their wings stirring gentle currents of air. There is no rush here, only the rhythm of life moving at its own pace, as soft as a heartbeat in the quiet temple halls. You can almost feel the calm settle, like a warm hand upon your shoulder, encouraging the mind to rest. Morning rituals begin in subtle ways. A bow of the head, a quiet chant, hands folded in gentle alignment. The sound is low, almost a hum, vibrating softly through the misty air. It mingles with the whisper of wind in the trees, and together they form a melody of stillness. The shields, polished and light, glint faintly in the growing sunlight, catching the eye but never demanding attention. They are symbols of protection, not aggression, carrying with them the stories of ancestors who believed in both the strength and the softness of the human heart. Soft drums beat in the distance, their rhythm steady and soothing like a pulse connecting earth and sky. They call the warriors to gather, not for haste or tension, but for alignment of mind, body, and spirit. Each drumbeat is a slow breath, drawing them closer to the quiet knowledge that courage is not loud. It is patient, observant, and rooted in care. You drift with them along winding paths, through dewy meadows where morning flowers open slowly, their petals wet with gentle drops of dew. Along a hilltop, a small altar waits. Candles flicker faintly, even in the growing light, their flame steady and soft. Around the altar, offerings lie, small stones, grains of rice, petals, and leaves, each placed with care and quiet reverence. The warriors pause here, resting shields against the stone, closing eyes for a moment, and letting the sacred air fill their lungs. In this pause, even the morning mist seems to hold its breath, enveloping everything in calm and quiet reflection. Somewhere beyond the hills, a river glimmers in soft reflection. Its water flows slowly, carrying whispers of distant lands and forgotten names. It speaks in gentle murmurs of cycles and continuity, of beginnings and endings, and of the courage that comes not from striking, but from understanding, from witnessing, and from holding the heart open. The shields, resting nearby, seem almost to lean toward the river, as if they too recognize the quiet wisdom it carries. The warriors move again, slowly and with purpose. Their banners rise and fall in the soft morning wind like waves upon a still sea. Colors blend with the golden light, red softened to rose, blues muted to pale silver, greens softened to the gentlest moss. Each banner is a song, a story, a meditation made visible. Their shields shine quietly, reflecting not just light but the calm strength of faith and courage. You drift alongside them, your breath matching their steps, your heartbeat settling into the rhythm of their gentle procession. You notice the small things along the path, a leaf turning in the wind, a bird pausing mid-flight, the distant echo of bells from a hidden temple. All of these details move slowly, deliberately, as if the world itself is reminding you to move softly through thoughts, to let go of tension, and to rest within the gentle arms of the morning. Even the stones underfoot seem to hum with quiet energy, guiding each step without urgency. The warriors pause atop a gentle rise, looking out over a valley bathed in the pale light. Mist clings to the river below, curling around trees and rocks. It feels as if the entire world is exhaling in a long, soft breath. They raise their shields in silent acknowledgement, not of enemies, but of the sacred task of presence, of faith, and of enduring courage. Each shield is an embrace, holding memories of those who walked before and carrying hope for those who will follow. As the sun rises higher, the golden light touches every surface with gentle warmth. The banners flutter one last time in the soft wind, and the warriors settle into quiet reflection. Some kneel, some stand, all breathe slowly, letting the calm fill their bodies. You drift among them, feeling the weight of the day light, the mind soften, and the spirit rest. Evening is still far away, but the chapter of morning closes gently. The mist begins to lift, the river glimmers more brightly, and the soft hum of life continues, steady and gentle. You feel the echoes of the dawn linger in your heart, the soft courage, the patient devotion, the quiet power of faith resting in the human soul. Now let the day move forward at its own pace. Let the shields rest, the banners settle, and the prayers float gently into the skies. You drift onward, carried by the calm wind, across hills and rivers, toward a place where the mind can rest fully. The light of morning folds into memory, and your breath moves as slowly and softly as the mist. Let us drift onward, past the hills, past the quiet temples, past the soft flowing river. Let the ancient courage and gentle devotion settle within you. Now rest, as the stars return to their watch in the silent sky, carrying the light of every sacred dawn into your dreams. The sun hovers low above the sands, painting the desert in gentle gold and soft amber. Heat drifts upward, yet the air feels quiet, almost like a whispered song. Dunes roll endlessly, their curves smooth and endless, touched by the light as if they were slowly breathing. You drift through this vastness, carried on the soft wind that moves over the sand, stirring delicate patterns and tiny echoes of the past. Amid the wide silence, Small temples rise, their walls worn by sun and wind, yet strong in presence. Each stone seems to hold a memory, a story of devotion whispered from one generation to the next. They stand alone, quiet beacons in the vast openness, where the horizon stretches without end. The wind hums around their towers, and the distant sound of shifting sand blends with the faint creak of old doors, opening slowly to welcome unseen visitors. Here, small sects once gathered. They moved quietly, speaking softly to one another, their words blending with the hum of the desert. Their rituals were slow, deliberate, filled with intention. Candles flickered gently in shadowed alcoves, their flames dancing like tiny stars. Smoke curled upward, soft and curling, mingling with the wind as if it carried prayers across the dunes. The desert itself seemed to listen. Warriors and seekers alike walked the sands here, their steps careful, never hurried. Shields rested lightly at their sides, polished with care, reflecting the sun's mellow rays. Even amid conflict, the movements were rhythmic, ritualized. Each action, each breath was a meditation. A swing of a sword was mirrored by a deep exhale. A shield raised was accompanied by a quiet prayer. Courage and devotion were inseparable, flowing together like rivers through the arid land. The temple's walls hold carvings of ancient stories, figures in long robes, hands extended in offering, symbols of protection and signs of devotion. Sunlight drifts across the carvings, highlighting their edges, creating a soft play of light and shadow. In this gentle dance, the stories are revealed and hidden in turns, as if the desert itself knows the proper pace for remembering. You float past these walls, letting your eyes and mind linger without hurry, feeling the calm settle deeper with each moment. Soft drums echo in the distance, but they are not loud or frightening. They are slow, deliberate, carrying a rhythm that blends with the breath of the desert. Each beat touches the earth and rises softly into the sky, a bridge between the world below and the heavens above. Those who gather in the temples follow the rhythm, moving like shadows in harmony with the sound. The desert watches quietly, holding every footstep, every whispered word, and every offering of devotion. A gentle wind rises, brushing against the face and arms like a tender hand. It carries the scent of incense and distant flowers, mingling with the warmth of sand and sun. You feel the wind guide you toward a small alcove, where a pool of still water reflects the sky above. The water is calm, almost mirror-like, holding the reflection of clouds drifting slowly, of birds gliding above, and of sunlight turning soft gold. This pool is sacred, a resting place for both spirit and body, and it draws the mind toward quiet meditation. Within the temples, monks and warriors sit in circles, their eyes closed, hands folded, bodies steady. Their breaths rise and fall in unison with the slow wind, a quiet rhythm that resonates in the stones around them. Small bells tinkle softly with each motion, creating delicate echoes that linger in the air. You drift closer, feeling the resonance, letting it align with the quiet pulse within yourself. There is no rush here, only the serene flow of presence and awareness. Some sects here never raised their voices in battle, yet they fought nonetheless. Their weapons were soft, made of intention and focus. Shields were raised not to strike, but to honor. Movements were deliberate, each one a meditation in action. Even when conflict came, the essence of devotion guided them, calm hearts and steady minds prevailing over chaos. In this way, courage and peace lived side by side, like twin shadows beneath the endless sun. The desert carries echoes of these quiet confrontations. Soft traces remain in the patterns of sand, in the curves of dunes, and in the stillness of the stone temples. You float through these echoes, feeling their presence without urgency. Each sound, each shift of air, each gentle touch of sunlight across stone or sand reminds you of patience, of resilience, and of devotion that requires no reward, only presence. Above, the sky stretches wide and open, pale blue melting into soft gold along the horizon. Clouds drift lazily, forming delicate shapes like whispers caught mid-thought. A few birds trace slow arcs in the air, their wings barely disturbing the warm currents. They move gracefully, as if carrying messages of hope and remembrance across the sands. You watch, drifting alongside, letting your mind flow with their effortless glide. The temples themselves are quiet sanctuaries. In shaded corners, small fires burn low, their smoke curling upward to meet the sky. Within the stones, hidden inscriptions speak of devotion to unseen gods, of courage measured in patience and humility, of faith that moves like the wind, visible only when it brushes your skin or whispers past your ear. The desert holds these memories with tenderness, allowing them to settle gently into the heart of any who wander here. A soft bell rings, low and deliberate, carrying its sound across the dunes. It blends with the rhythm of the wind, the gentle sigh of sand shifting and the distant echo of drums. It marks a moment of reflection, a pause to breathe, a time to honor the calm strength of those who came before. You drift in this pause, letting each vibration move slowly through your body, settling your mind like sand falling into quiet shapes. Paths between the temples are lined with small stones, arranged carefully in patterns that mimic the flow of rivers or the curves of dunes. Pilgrims once walked these paths slowly, each step an act of meditation. The warriors who followed these paths in quiet battles learned to move with the same grace, letting the land guide their feet, letting the sacred shapes in stone guide their hearts. You float along these paths, feeling each step soften within your spirit, connecting you to the gentle rhythm of devotion. As the sun climbs higher, the desert heat rises softly, yet it feels comforting rather than harsh. Light bends and glimmers across the walls, forming delicate mosaics of shadow and glow. The temples seem alive in their quiet watchfulness, breathing slowly with the wind. Within this space, even the smallest movements, a hand raised in blessing, a candle flame flickering, carry deep resonance. You drift past, letting each gentle motion imprint softly upon your mind, like a lullaby of light and calm. Even amid the vastness of sand and stone, small creatures stir quietly. Tiny lizards move along sun-warmed rocks, their movements deliberate and soft. Birds call gently to one another, their voices carried over dunes in echoes that linger before fatting. Every life in this desert moves with patience, teaching that strength is quiet, courage is calm, and devotion is steady. You float with them, letting their slow, deliberate rhythm guide your own thoughts into stillness. As the day stretches, shadows lengthen softly, and the desert's hum deepens. You watch as light folds gently into the edges of stone and sand, and you notice the delicate way wind moves through the temple halls. Here, courage and faith remain intertwined, not through loud clashes, but through quiet resilience. Shields rest gently against stone, banners sway slowly, and hearts breathe deeply with the unspoken knowledge of devotion held in stillness. Now the temples and desert drift into quiet, a soft sigh across the dunes. Candles burn low, incense curls toward the sky, and small bells tinkle softly, leaving echoes that linger like gentle memories. You drift with these echoes, letting them settle around your mind, around your spirit, carrying a calm warmth into your heart. Let us drift onward, past the dunes, past the whispering temples, past the gentle rhythm of sand and wind. Let the quiet strength of devotion, patience, and courage fill you softly. Now rest, as the stars return above the vast desert sky, carrying the calm light of faith and the gentle promise of endless peace into your dreams. Night falls slowly over the land, soft and quiet, and the sky deepens into a velvet blue. Stars awaken one by one, flickering gently like candles set in the dark expanse. Their light glimmers softly across the surface of a wide river, turning the water into a path of silver and shadow. You drift near the riverbank, feeling the soft whisper of wind against your skin, carrying the faint scent of reeds and river moss. The river moves calmly, flowing steadily despite the hills and bends that shape its course. It has seen centuries pass, carrying the echoes of distant footsteps and quiet prayers. It knows the gentle rhythm of life and the deep stillness that follows every storm. Here, warriors once paused, raising shields and lowering eyes in prayer before they faced challenges. The river held their reflections, mirrored in its waters, as if the stars above and the currents below were guardians of courage and faith. Along the river's edge, small temples rise quietly from the land, their walls glowing softly in starlight. Smoke curls gently from incense, drifting lazily across the calm water. Tiny ripples form where fish move unseen, and the soft croak of frogs joins the evening chorus. Every sound is delicate, measured, soothing like the slow inhale and exhale of a resting breath. You drift through this gentle night, letting each sound guide your mind deeper into calm. Before battles, rituals unfolded by the river. Warriors knelt on the banks, their hands pressed together, heads bowed in stillness. Candles flickered on stones beside them, their flames reflecting in the rippling water. Soft chants rose, blending with the sigh of wind across the reeds. Each note carried intention and care, weaving a protective calm that moved through the air and settled into hearts. Even in moments of tension, the river's presence reminded them that life flowed steadily, carrying all things forward. The shields that rested nearby were polished and round, catching glimpses of starlight as they leaned against rocks. Each mark on their surface told a story, a symbol of devotion, a remembered prayer, a blessing offered before stepping into uncertainty. The warriors touched these symbols lightly, letting the stories connect them to ancestors long past. The river mirrored their movements, its surface reflecting not only light but memory, as if holding both the present and the echoes of those who had walked here before. Above, stars traced gentle arcs across the sky. Their light seemed to follow the river, slipping across currents like tiny spirit guides. The constellations themselves appeared like silent watchers, holding the balance between calm and courage. You drift along the riverbank, letting the soft shimmer of starlight and water waves lull your thoughts into quietude. Every ripple, every whisper of wind seems to move in harmony with your breath. Small lanterns float in the water, lit by unseen hands. Their flames sway gently, flickering across the smooth surface. The reflections multiply and shimmer, creating a path of light that seems endless, a journey across both water and sky. These floating lights are not hurried. They do not seek to reach an end. They exist only in the gentle moment, reminding all who watch that serenity can be found even amid preparation for challenge. Some temples near the river were open to the night air, their halls quiet but alive with soft sounds. The faint clink of ritual bowls, the whispered hum of prayers, and the delicate rustle of robes form a lullaby. Monks and warriors alike moved slowly, touching sacred stones, adjusting offerings, bowing to the river and to the stars. The river seemed to watch them, flowing without judgment, steady and serene, carrying their intentions into the wider world. You notice the small movements along the riverbank. A leaf floats gently in the current, twirling softly before landing. A bird dips its wings into the water, stirring tiny ripples that vanish as quickly as they appeared. Even in these small gestures, there is rhythm and order, a subtle reminder that patience and calm hold a quiet strength. The river teaches that every motion, no matter how fleeting, has its place in the greater flow. Some warriors carried small bells in their hands. Before stepping into confrontation, they would ring them softly, letting the tones drift over water and reeds. Each vibration traveled through stone, sand, and river alike, creating a bridge between the earth below and the stars above. The sound was gentle, not commanding, yet it held presence. You float with the sound, letting its resonance move through your body, loosening tension, inviting rest. The river's current carries stories of victories and defeats, yet all are softened by the water's constant passage. Here, courage is not loud or urgent. It is steady and mindful, flowing like the river itself. Even amid distant clashes, the warriors' hearts remained centered. Their devotion was not to the fight alone, but to the life and faith that carried them through. You drift along this lesson quietly, letting the river's calm seep into your own breath. Along the bank, ancient stones bear carvings softened by time. Symbols of the sun, the moon, and winding rivers remind travelers of cycles and connections. Warriors traced these carvings with fingertips, acknowledging the guidance of those who had come before. Each touch was a meditation, a moment of reverence that slowed the heart and sharpened the spirit in gentle harmony. You drift over these stones in your mind, letting their calm presence settle softly into your chest. The river widens into pools, still and reflective. Candles float gently, carried by the current. Their lights are steady yet fragile, flickering against the water with soft, deliberate grace. Small ripples pass beneath them, creating dances of shadow and glow. This quiet spectacle reminds all who watch that even in motion, stillness is always present. Faith and courage move together, flowing without haste, carried by the river as it has carried all things for ages. Evening animals stir softly. Frogs croak low in the reeds. Night birds call with gentle notes, echoing across water and stone. Tiny creatures move unseen beneath the surface of the river, carrying on their lives quietly, steadily. The world around the river hums a calm melody, a gentle lullaby woven from light, water, and sound. You float among these harmonies, letting each tiny vibration guide your thoughts toward rest. Distant mountains rise against the darkened sky, their peaks touched with silver starlight. The river curves gently around them, flowing as it has for countless years, never hurried, never burdened. It teaches that strength can be soft, that courage can be quiet, and that devotion does not need to be loud to hold power. You drift along the riverbank, feeling your own breath align with the rhythm of water, wind, and stars. Candles flicker in the temples one last time, the smoke curling slowly into the night. Soft chants rise and fall, barely audible, blending with the hum of the river and the sigh of reeds. Warriors kneel, resting hands on the water's edge, heads bowed, hearts steady. Their shields glint faintly, reflecting stars above and water below, a gentle reminder that calm and courage coexist, flowing side by side. The river continues, carrying all these moments with grace. Its gentle current is a teacher, its reflection a mirror of patience, devotion, and steady courage. You drift forward alongside it, letting each ripple and flicker of light soften the mind, warm the heart, and calm the spirit. Now let the river carry you gently. Let the stars above guide your dreams. Let the soft whisper of water and the faint hum of distant rituals settle your thoughts. Let the courage of devotion and the patience of faith fill you quietly as the night deepens and the river flows steadily onward. Let us drift onward, past the banks, past the soft temples, past the flickering candles and gentle stars. Let calm fill every breath, every heartbeat, every thought. Now rest as the river continues beneath the watch of the stars, carrying peace and serenity into the softest corners of your mind. The evening sky stretches wide and calm, painted in deep indigos and the soft glow of distant stars. A gentle breeze drifts across rolling hills, carrying the faint scent of moss, stone, and earth warmed by the day. You wander slowly through this quiet land, where silence moves like a soft river, and the shadows of trees and walls lean into the fading light. In these hills lie the ruins of old armies, long vanished, their banners faded and worn. Stones of once mighty walls remain, softened by centuries, yet their presence hums with memory. Every crack and curve holds a whisper of footsteps, the gentle rhythm of marching and the quiet resonance of prayer. You float past them, letting each detail settle gently into your mind, like soft, slow breaths in the cool evening air. Soft echoes linger here, moving through arches and empty courtyards. You can feel the hush of forgotten lands, the quiet dignity of devotion that never raised its voice too loudly. Warriors once knelt here, touching shields to the earth, heads bowed, hands folded, hearts steady. They spoke softly to the unseen, calling on courage and faith, preparing themselves not with haste but with deliberate calm. Their prayers were steady currents, invisible but present, like the wind brushing across these ruins. The banners that remain flutter lightly in the gentle breeze, colors muted to soft ochre and deep moss, edges frayed by time. Even now, they seem to sway with intention, as if the memories of those who held them linger in the fibers, guiding anyone who passes with a quiet wisdom. You drift closer, feeling the subtle pull of history, the quiet encouragement to move softly, to listen carefully, and to rest in the stillness of the present. Along the pathways, the faint sound of footsteps seems to echo, though no one is there. Ghostly yet gentle, they blend with the sighing of leaves and the soft rustle of grass. The air carries them lightly, a rhythm of long-past discipline, of courage measured and careful. You float among them, feeling your own heartbeat slow in response, aligning with the calm pace of devotion held in these spaces. Somewhere within the ruins, a small temple remains, its roof bowed under centuries but its walls strong in presence. Candlelight flickers softly inside, reflected in worn stones and carved reliefs. Smoke curls from incense, carrying the scent of sandalwood and gentle herbs, drifting outward to mingle with the cooling night. The temple hums quietly with memory, as if the prayers of those long gone continue to rise in whispers to the sky. You notice shields resting against walls, polished faintly, glinting in the soft candlelight. Each one bears marks of care, small symbols etched or painted with reverence. They speak of protection, of patience, of devotion that balances courage with restraint. The warriors who held them understood that power is quiet, that true courage moves without clamor, and that faith often speaks softly before the first step of any journey. You drift past these shields, letting their calm energy settle into your chest. The fields around the ruins are dotted with low stones, remnants of past gatherings, of quiet rituals performed before battle. Warriors once knelt here, tracing circles with fingers in the sand, whispering blessings and hopes into the earth. Each movement was deliberate, a meditation in action, a gentle strengthening of mind and spirit. Even the wind seems to follow these traces, moving softly along the lines, carrying echoes of faith through the open land. In the distance, the faint glimmer of water reflects moonlight. A river curves gently near the ruins, its surface smooth and steady, carrying with it the faintest whispers of movement. It mirrors the stars above, small flickers of light that seem like silent guides, reminding all who watch of continuity, of connection, and of calm presence in every step. You drift to its edge, letting the soft murmur of flowing water blend with the echoes of the past, guiding your thoughts into gentle stillness. Some warriors move not with haste, but with the rhythm of breath and intention. Shields raised slowly, chants rising softly, footsteps measured and light. Even when conflict came, the essence of devotion prevailed, carried in gestures, in bows, in quiet observation. You float among these memories, feeling the slow, deliberate courage as a warm current beneath your own awareness. There is no rush, no tension, only the peaceful flow of faith and purpose. Above, stars shimmer gently, their light reflected faintly on scattered stones and the river's surface. They trace silent paths across the sky, each one like a memory kept in the vastness. The ruins seem to breathe with these lights, drawing energy from the stars' calm glow. You float with this light, letting it fill your mind, soften your thoughts, and carry you deeper into rest. Soft drums echo faintly, though long past their original hands and rhythms. Their beat is measured, steady, comforting, blending with the sigh of wind through broken arches. Each pulse reminds you that even in absence, presence remains. Courage and devotion are not lost. They move quietly through space and memory, waiting to cradle any who wander here with gentle care. The air carries faint scents of herbs and fire, mingling with the earthy aroma of stone and sand. Small animals stir quietly in the ruins, foxes and rabbits moving carefully through underbrush, their soft footsteps almost imperceptible. Even in their stillness, they remind you of life's quiet persistence, the steady flow of energy that continues despite the passage of time. You drift with them, letting their gentle presence soothe your mind and guide you toward calm. Along the horizon, the moon rises slowly, pale and steady, casting a silver glow across the fields and river. Its light softens shadows, revealing shapes that had once seemed harsh or empty. Now the ruins appear as quiet guardians, their forms gentle in the moonlight, filled with stories of devotion, patience, and careful courage. You float beneath this glow, letting it wrap softly around your shoulders, your chest, and your mind. Within a small courtyard, the faint tinkle of bells can be heard, carried lightly on the wind. Each ring is slow, deliberate, a soft vibration that moves through stone and air alike. The sound is gentle enough to soothe, persistent enough to remind you of continuity, of the presence of devotion in every quiet gesture. You drift with the sound, letting each vibration resonate through your body, releasing tension, inviting peace. Shields, banners, and worn stones are reminders not of violence, but of care. They speak of preparation, of mindfulness, of hearts aligned with intention. Even the ghosts of armies long past move softly in memory, reminding you that courage is calm, that devotion is gentle, and that strength often flows quietly through the stillness between action and reflection. The river beside the ruins glimmers faintly, carrying light and shadow together, flowing without hurry. Small ripples catch starlight, scattering it softly across sand and stone. Every ripple, every glimmer, every whisper of wind reminds you that life flows steadily, that peace can coexist with courage, and that calm is the natural rhythm of spirit. You drift along this river of memory, letting its soft motion cradle your thoughts. As night deepens, the ruins settle into quiet. Candles burn low, incense curls into stillness, and the air hums gently with faint echoes of prayers long past. Shields rest quietly, banners sway with intention, and stars gaze from above. You drift among them, letting their calm presence sink deeply into your mind and heart. Let us drift onward, past the empty courtyards, past the quiet temples, past the silver river and flickering stars. Let the echoes of forgotten armies, the gentle rhythm of devotion, and the soft courage of the past settle within you. Now rest, as the night holds all things tenderly, carrying you into the still and serene embrace of dreams. Twilight drifts slowly across the land, brushing the hills with soft hues of violet and amber. The air is warm but gentle, carrying the faint scent of incense and flowering plants. Shadows stretch long across quiet paths, and the first stars appear, twinkling faintly, like tiny lanterns scattered across the sky. You drift along these paths, feeling the calm settle around your shoulders, as though the very air carries peace with every breath. In this tranquil hour, we find the meeting of two paths, those of quiet monks and disciplined warriors. Their lives, once separate, now weave together like the threads of a delicate tapestry. Both follow rituals of devotion and mindfulness, though their ways may differ. The monks move with soft, deliberate gestures, hands brushing lightly across sacred stones, eyes lowered in contemplation. The warriors train with steady rhythm, their steps measured, their movements precise, each one an echo of inner stillness. The land is dotted with small temples, their stone walls glowing faintly in the last light of day. Candles flicker along their edges, their flames dancing in gentle rhythm with the rising breeze. Inside, monks kneel in meditation, their breath slow and even. Outside, warriors move in parallel, shields raised, spears poised, each gesture flowing from intention, not haste. Even the air seems to hum with the quiet power of their practice, carrying a sense of purpose tempered by calm. Along a winding path, a small courtyard emerges, its floor lined with soft sand, swept carefully by unseen hands. The monks sit here, forming circles of stillness, their chants barely audible, blending with the sigh of wind and the gentle rustle of leaves. Warriors pause nearby, observing, then mirror the rhythm in their own exercises. Slow swings of lance, careful shifts of shield, each action infused with awareness. The land itself seems to guide them, holding each step with tenderness, teaching that discipline can be a meditation, and meditation can be strength. Soft streams of water run through the courtyard, carrying the reflection of lanterns and fading sunlight. The ripples move gently, a reminder that flow and resilience are intertwined. Warriors pause to touch the water, letting it trickle through their fingers, while monks trace patterns on its surface with delicate hands. Each touch, each small interaction is a prayer, a connection to something greater than themselves, a gentle reminder that courage is as much inward as it is outward. The lotus, blooming quietly in shallow pools, mirrors the essence of this union. Its petals unfold slowly, touched by the soft glow of twilight, rising above water and shadow. Monks see in its form the beauty of patience, the power of stillness. Warriors see in it a lesson of balance, strength tempered with grace, power guided by calm. Together, the lotus and the lance become symbols of harmony, the blending of inner clarity with outward action. You drift past these flowers, letting their soft light illuminate your thoughts, your breath, your heart. Nearby, the first stars reflect on a quiet river which winds through the valley like a silver thread. The water carries the faint echoes of movements past, footsteps of monks, the soft clash of training weapons, whispered chants of devotion. You drift alongside the river, listening to its gentle hum, feeling the continuity of calm and courage carried across time. Even in conflict, faith moved as steadily as this river, flowing without force, shaping its course with quiet persistence. The monks chant in soft cadence, each word a gentle vibration in the evening air. The warriors, guided by the rhythm, move with shields raised, lances tracing slow arcs. Every gesture, every breath is deliberate. The soft clash of wood and metal is muted, almost ceremonial, resonating with focus rather than frenzy. You float among them, letting the rhythm settle into your own heartbeat, feeling a deep sense of serenity in every motion. Lanterns hang from the temple eaves, their glow reflecting on polished armor, on smooth stones, on the flowing river. Their light is tender, not demanding attention, offering comfort and quiet guidance. Shadows flicker, creating soft shapes that blend with the surrounding landscape, as if the world itself participates in this gentle harmony. You drift with the light, letting each flicker carry your thoughts into a calm, steady drift. The warriors' lances move in arcs, cutting through the cool air with precision, yet without hurry. Each motion is rooted in inner calm, guided by steady breath and focused thought. The monks watch, their eyes soft, hands folded, hearts aligned with the rhythm of each movement. They understand that true strength is subtle, present in every controlled step, every careful gesture. You float between these paths, absorbing the quiet lesson that courage and stillness coexist beautifully. A soft bell rings from the temple courtyard, its sound drifting across stone and water, threading through the rustle of leaves and the distant flow of river. The tone is long and gentle, echoing faintly through the valley, a reminder that even in preparation, even in practice, there is time to pause, to reflect, to breathe. You drift with the vibration, feeling it resonate softly through your chest, calming your thoughts, inviting your mind to rest. The twilight deepens and fireflies appear along the edges of the river, tiny flickers of golden light rising and falling gently. They move without hurry, drifting with the air currents, a living echo of the stillness that surrounds you. Monks smile faintly at their passage, warriors nod in quiet acknowledgement, and you drift alongside them, letting their gentle presence soothe your mind and heart. Soft incense smoke curls into the evening sky, weaving between the trees, around the stones, across the river. Its fragrance is subtle and calming, carrying memories of devotion and quiet ceremony. You inhale slowly, letting the scent fill your lungs, settling deeply into your being, guiding your thoughts into a slow, rhythmic drift. Each breath becomes a meditation, each exhale a soft release of tension, each heartbeat in tune with the calm energy around you. The lotus petals sway gently in pools of water, catching reflections of lantern light, river glow, and first stars above. Their softness mirrors the hands of monks as they move through prayer, the careful motions of warriors as they train, the quiet precision of every devoted act. The world feels balanced here, strength and gentleness intertwined, action and stillness woven together. You float among this balance, letting it cradle your spirit, letting it slow your thoughts into quiet serenity. Small lanterns float on the river's surface, drifting slowly downstream. Their lights are steady, unhurried, a gentle guide along the flowing water. Warriors pause to watch them. Monks whisper prayers to their passing, and you drift alongside, letting each light illuminate your mind softly, carrying warmth and calm with it. Every ripple in the water seems a quiet reminder that life flows gently, that devotion shapes movement, and that true courage is measured in steadiness, not haste. The soft murmur of distant chants, the rustle of robes, the faint clink of metal, every sound blends into the evening's quiet symphony. You drift within it, feeling each vibration settle into your body, guiding your breath, slowing your heart, soothing your mind. The lotus blooms, the lance rests, the river flows, and all of it moves with the gentle rhythm of intention and peace. As darkness deepens, the lanterns dim slightly, the river mirrors the starlight more clearly, and the wind carries only whispers. The courtyard is still, the monks rest, and the warriors lower their shields, their hearts steady. Every movement of the day has merged into soft presence. You drift with it, feeling the quiet strength of devotion, discipline, and harmony fill your spirit, readying you for the gentle transition into rest. Let us drift onward, past the lotus pools, past the flowing river, past the quiet temple and the soft echoes of disciplined hands. Let the calm of twilight, the gentle rhythm of lances, and the serenity of devoted hearts guide you deeper into relaxation. Now rest, as the stars return above, the river carries light onward, and the lotus remains open in peaceful stillness, holding serenity within its gentle petals. Twilight falls gently across the hills, painting them with shades of violet and amber. The last warmth of day lingers, touching stone and grass, while the sky deepens into a soft, endless blue. A light breeze moves through the valleys, carrying with it the faint scent of incense and flowering herbs. You drift slowly along the quiet paths, feeling the soft pulse of the land beneath your feet, letting your breath match the calm rhythm of evening. Long ago, these hills were crowned with temples, their spires reaching gently toward the sky. Though many have softened into ruins, their memory hums in the air like distant echoes of bells and whispered prayers. You can sense them here in the curve of each slope, in the steady sway of trees, in the quiet reflection of pools tucked into hidden corners. Even in absence, devotion remains, soft and steady, like a river flowing beneath the surface of time. The wind carries faint sounds of rituals long past. Gentle chants, soft footfalls, and the subtle clash of wooden shields drift across the hills, almost imperceptible. These were not loud or urgent sounds, but calm, deliberate actions, prayers carried through movement, hearts aligned with purpose, hands steady in devotion. You float among these echoes, letting their serenity settle into your own chest, softening each thought, each breath. Small lanterns hang along stone pathways, their light warm and unhurried. Shadows stretch softly across the hills, bending around rocks, trees, and temple remnants. In their flicker, you see glimpses of monks moving with careful reverence, warriors pausing to bow, and both tracing quiet paths that wind toward the sacred spaces above. Every step, every gesture is gentle, measured, full of intent yet free of haste. Among the ruins, delicate incense smoke curls slowly into the sky. Its fragrance mingles with the evening air, carrying the memory of prayers, of chants, of soft songs sung in honor of the divine. The smoke drifts past stones carved with symbols of sun, moon, and sacred rivers, leaving a trail of calm that wraps around your mind, inviting quiet reflection. You drift with the smoke, letting it carry away tension and hurry, settling your awareness into a still, peaceful presence. In shallow pools that gather between rocks, lotus flowers float quietly. Their petals open slowly to the fading light, reflecting amber and violet in the calm water. Monks once knelt beside these pools, tracing soft patterns in water with fingertips, whispering blessings into the ripples. Warriors paused here too, steadying their hands and hearts before stepping forward, letting their breath align with the rhythm of the earth. You drift among the flowers, feeling their gentle energy soothe your thoughts. The hillsides are dotted with paths where distant battles once stirred, yet now they lie silent, softened by grass and moss. Stones bear faint marks of shields and feet, reminders of devotion in motion. The memory is not one of tension, but of measured courage and steadfast calm. Each step along these paths is a meditation, a gentle honoring of those who moved with care and intention. You float slowly along, letting each detail settle softly into your mind. A river winds through the valley below, catching the last rays of the sun and the first stars above. Its surface shimmers with reflections of lanterns, temple stones, and the soft glow of moonlight. The water flows steadily, carrying with it the gentle resonance of prayer, of chants, of quiet courage that has moved through these hills for countless years. You drift beside the river, letting its calm motion guide your breath, slow and even, steadying the mind for rest. Soft winds rustle through leaves and tall grasses, creating a gentle symphony of sound. Distant bells echo faintly from the temples, blending with the sigh of the air. Every vibration is subtle yet present, a reminder that even in stillness, devotion continues to move quietly through the world. You drift with this melody, feeling each sound weave a layer of calm through your body, inviting your heart to rest. Along the highest ridges, small shrines remain, their stones smoothed by time and the touch of countless hands. Candlelight flickers in their niches, glowing faintly against the violet sky. Monks kneel beside them, heads bowed, hands folded, while warriors rest nearby, shields leaning gently against stones. Their movements are slow, unhurried, filled with reverence and intention. The scene is one of harmony, where discipline and devotion coexist, softening every shadow, illuminating every thought with calm. The first stars appear above the hills, twinkling faintly like distant candles. Their light reflects on pools, stones, and lanterns, creating a gentle interplay of glow and shadow. You drift beneath this quiet sky, letting its cool, soft illumination fill your mind. Each star becomes a quiet guide, a subtle reminder of continuity, of presence, and of the gentle strength that flows through steady, devoted hearts. The air carries the distant hum of life, soft calls of night birds, the faint rustle of small animals, the gentle murmur of river water. Each sound is measured, calming, and rhythmic, blending seamlessly with the soft flicker of lanterns and the scent of incense. You float among these gentle elements, letting your thoughts dissolve, letting your breath slow, letting your body relax completely. In the soft glow of candlelight, shields and stones glimmer with the memory of hands that once held them. Warriors, movements, monks' gestures, and the soft cadence of ritual all remain, invisible but present like a subtle heartbeat in the landscape. The world here is not hurried or tense, but steady, calm, filled with devotion and quiet courage. You drift along, letting each presence, each memory, each soft vibration guide your mind towards stillness. The lotus flowers sway lightly in pools, catching reflections of stars and candlelight. Their soft motion is gentle, rhythmic, a meditation in itself. Monks and warriors once paused here, letting the lotus teach them patience and grace, the steady unfolding of strength without haste. You drift among the petals, feeling their quiet energy settle within you, a gentle reminder that calm can coexist with courage and stillness with devotion. Lanterns float slowly down the river, drifting without hurry, their lights mirrored in the water. The motion is soft, continuous, unbroken, like a meditation made visible. Monks and warriors alike watched these lights, allowing their hearts to align with the rhythm of flowing water. You float alongside them, letting each glimmer, each ripple, each subtle motion carry your thoughts into soft stillness. The hills themselves seem alive with memory, each curve and shadow echoing the quiet steps of those who walked here before. Temples, stones, pools, and paths hum softly with remembrance, carrying the essence of devotion and calm across time. You drift over these sacred hills, feeling your breath slow, your heartbeat soften, and your mind settle in gentle alignment with the quiet resonance all around you. As twilight deepens, the sky grows dark, the first stars multiplying across the heavens. Lanterns dim slightly, pools reflect the moonlight more clearly, and incense smoke curls lazily into the night. Monks rest, warriors lower their shields, and the hills exhale a gentle calm, holding the memory of devotion and measured courage like a soft embrace. You drift with this calm, letting it fill every corner of your mind, your heart, your body. Let us drift onward, past the lotus pools, past the gentle river, past the soft temples and glowing lanterns. Let the calm of twilight, the quiet resonance of prayer, and the gentle memory of devoted hearts carry you deeper into rest. Now rest, as the stars return above, the hills cradle all in soft shadow, and the world whispers serenity into your dreams. Night settles slowly across the land, drawing a velvet curtain over hills and rivers. The stars appear one by one, shy and gentle, peeking through the deepening sky. A soft breeze moves across the earth, carrying the faint aroma of sandalwood and blooming night flowers. You drift quietly through this evening, feeling the calm settle into your shoulders and chest, as if the world itself is exhaling a slow, peaceful breath. In the heart of a quiet courtyard, candles flicker gently, their light soft and unhurried. Each flame trembles like a whispered prayer, illuminating ancient scrolls carefully laid upon low tables. The parchment seems to glow from within, the edges catching the warm, flickering light. And as you drift closer, you sense the stories contained there. Tales of battles, not only fought for land, but for understanding, for faith, for the gentle light of enlightenment. The flicker of candlelight casts shadows across stone walls, softening every edge, creating pools of quiet illumination. Warriors and monks alike move through the courtyard with measured steps, their hands brushing lightly across the smooth surface of walls and scrolls. Each movement is deliberate, a ritual in itself. Even the simplest gestures, a bow of the head, a careful adjustment of robes, carry the calm weight of devotion. You drift along with them, letting your awareness settle into this rhythm, letting every breath sink with the slow pulse of the night. The scrolls speak of strategies that were both subtle and sacred. Plans of battle were drawn not with haste, but with reflection, each line a meditation, each symbol a prayer. Warriors studied them quietly, tracing pathways with soft fingers, letting the wisdom of the past guide each motion. Monks watched alongside them, offering silent presence, their own prayers weaving into the quiet energy of preparation. You float beside these ancient minds, letting the calm steadiness of intention sink into your own chest, your own heart. Outside the courtyard, the wind carries whispers of distant forests and flowing rivers. It rustles through the leaves of towering trees, brushing against the edges of stone walls and lanterns. The sounds are subtle, barely there, yet their presence fills the air with a quiet vitality. Every movement of air, every soft sound, feels like a blessing, a gentle reminder that even in preparation and study, in the planning of what was once necessary, the world remains tender, patient, and alive. Candles line the hallways and open spaces, their light soft and golden. They illuminate faces intent with focus, yet calm, hands resting lightly on weapons or scrolls, eyes tracing patterns and passages. Each flame seems to hold a memory, a story, a quiet acknowledgement of devotion that guided every decision. You drift among these lights, feeling their warmth carry into your chest, slow and steady, as if each tiny flame whispers, peace can be present even in action. The courtyard holds small pools of water, reflecting the candlelight like quiet mirrors. Monks kneel beside them, letting their hands touch the surface, tracing gentle circles that ripple outward, soft and continuous. Warriors pause here as well, allowing the cool touch to remind them of steadiness, of flow, of the calm that carries through even the most demanding moments. You float beside these pools, letting their stillness reflect in your own mind, the gentle ripples carrying every thought into soft repose. Soft drums echo faintly in the distance, slow and deliberate. They are not calls to haste or alarm, but steady, measured beats that carry rhythm through the night. Each pulse aligns with the gentle sway of the trees, the flicker of candles, the soft trickle of water. Monks and warriors alike move with these rhythms, letting the drum beats guide their breath, their focus, their inner stillness. You drift with the sound, feeling it settle through your body, calming every muscle, every thought. The scrolls tell of battle, where devotion softened even the hardest blows. Strategies were not only maps of conflict, but meditations on morality and care. Every movement, every decision was tempered by reflection, by prayer, by the soft recognition of the humanity behind each act. Warriors did not strike out of anger. Monks did not guide from fear. Both were present with awareness, letting calm discernment shape action. You float among these lessons, letting them sink into your own heart, softening the edges of worry or tension. Lanterns hang along walls and walkways, their light gentle and warm. The shadows they cast do not frighten but soothe, bending softly around each corner, each stone, each figure moving quietly beneath them. The interplay of light and dark carries a subtle rhythm, reminding you that even contrast can be gentle, even clarity can be tender. You drift through this space, letting the calm interplay of candle and shadow guide your mind into deeper relaxation. Soft chants rise faintly from a small alcove, barely audible, blending with the hum of the night and the rustle of leaves. Monks offer their presence in quiet devotion, their voices steady and soft, each note a slow breath, a gentle wave moving outward. Warriors listen, not with impatience, but with respect, letting the vibration carry through them, steadying both mind and hand. You drift with the sound, letting it fill your ears and your awareness, carrying all tension away into the night air. The candle's flames flicker over the surface of ancient scrolls, illuminating scenes of distant hills, rivers, and forests where battles once moved through the land. The drawings are simple, yet full of meaning, each line holding the care of those who thought deeply before acting. Warriors trace their fingers over these images. Monks whisper soft acknowledgments, and you float alongside, feeling the gentle wisdom settle into your being, quieting your mind, slowing your breath. Outside, the river moves gently under the starlight, its surface broken only by soft ripples. Lanterns float along its course, drifting slowly downstream, their light mirrored in water that carries the memory of all who passed before. You drift with the river, letting its calm motion guide your thoughts, each ripple a soft reminder of continuity, of presence, of the gentle flow of life through action and stillness alike. The air carries subtle fragrances, sandalwood, night jasmine, the faint tang of river water. Every scent is soft, unobtrusive, blending together to create a soothing cloak around the courtyard, the scrolls, the monks, and the warriors. You drift through the layers of aroma, letting each one settle gently into your mind, each inhalation a meditation, each exhalation a release of tension. Candles line the steps leading to a small stone altar, where monks kneel, hands folded, heads bowed. Warriors pause nearby, their weapons resting gently at their sides. The scene is calm, deliberate, full of purpose yet free of hurry. Light glows softly on their faces, on the edges of robes and shields, on the stone beneath them. You float among this tableau, letting its soft presence lull every thought into serenity, every muscle into ease. The scrolls, now glowing faintly in the candlelight, continue their story of devotion and measured action. Every illustration, every word carries the echo of calm, of intentional movement, of awareness guiding hands and hearts. You drift closer to them, letting the lessons sink deeply into your consciousness, feeling each gentle instruction resonate through your chest, your shoulders, your mind. As the night deepens, lanterns dim slightly, the river reflects the first pale light of moon, and incense smoke curls lazily into the air. Monks rest, warriors set aside shields, and the courtyard exhales a soft calm, holding the memory of devotion and gentle courage. You float with this calm, letting it fill every part of your being, guiding you toward rest. Let us drift onward, past the flickering candles, past the glowing scrolls, past the gentle river and quiet lanterns. Let the soft rhythm of prayer, the tender guidance of strategy, and the presence of devoted hearts carry you deeper into serenity. Now rest, as the stars return above. The night holds every shadow softly, and the world whispers calm into your dreams. The night is quiet, yet full of gentle motion. Soft winds brush across the landscape, carrying the scent of wet earth and blooming reeds. The sky above shimmers faintly with stars, each one reflecting softly on the calm surface of winding rivers. You drift slowly along these waterways, feeling the current guide you, its rhythm steady and soothing, like a heartbeat shared by land and water. Long ago, these rivers were more than water. They were paths, carrying whispers of prayer, offerings of devotion, and messages between sacred battlegrounds. Pilgrims moved along their banks, their feet treading softly on sand and stone, their hands cupped in reverence. Warriors followed too, not only seeking passage but guidance, letting the flowing water remind them of patience, reflection, and the quiet strength of devotion. You drift among them, letting each step, each ripple, each breath slow and settle inside you. Along the banks, small lanterns float lazily, their light mirrored in the river's surface. Each glow feels like a quiet pulse, soft and persistent, like memory or faith carried through time. The reflections ripple gently, and as they dance across your vision, you notice the movements of tiny fish below, gliding smoothly, unaware of the world above. Everything moves in harmony here. The river, the light, the creatures, the people who honor it, and you drift with this rhythm, letting it fill your mind with calm. Soft chants rise from distant banks, blending with the whisper of wind through willows. Pilgrims kneel beside the water, pressing folded hands to their foreheads, murmuring prayers that ripple outward across the surface. Their voices are not loud, not urgent, but deliberate and slow, each syllable a tender offering. Warriors pause nearby, lowering shields and weapons, letting the sound settle into their hearts. You float through this melody, letting the vibrations carry your thoughts into stillness. The water glides around smooth stones and fallen branches, carrying leaves, petals, and small offerings placed by devoted hands. Each item drifts softly, mingling with the river's current, moving toward places unseen yet sacred. Monks watch silently from the banks, their robes brushing the tall grasses, their eyes calm and attentive. Every movement here is deliberate but effortless, flowing naturally as the water itself. You drift alongside, feeling the river's steady guidance shape your own breath and awareness. Lanterns flicker with warm light, illuminating carved stones along the riverbanks. These stones bear symbols of protection, remembrance, and devotion, worn smooth by years of wind and water. Warriors once touched them for courage, monks for focus, and now you touch them with your imagination, letting their presence calm your mind. The river reflects the lanterns, doubling the gentle light, creating a soft, undulating glow that seems to embrace you from all sides. Waterfalls spill quietly into deep pools, their gentle motion breaking the night's stillness with soft sighs. The sound is steady, repetitive, like a slow drum guiding breath and thought. Pilgrims pause here, letting the spray cool their skin and their minds, monks tracing circles in the pools with fingertips, sending ripples outward that vanish into the deeper flow. Warriors watch, letting the sound guide their own internal rhythms, steadying hands and hearts. You float among these waters, letting the gentle cascade dissolve all tension, all hurry, all worry. The river bends gently through quiet valleys, each curve a meditation on patience and grace. Fish swim beneath the surface, gliding over stones polished smooth by centuries of current. Lotus flowers float in shaded pools, their petals opening slowly to reflect the faint glow of lanterns and stars. Pilgrims bow beside them, offering soft words of gratitude, letting the calm of the water seep into their hearts. Warriors stand silently, shields resting lightly, letting devotion guide their gaze and their presence. You drift along the curves of the river, letting the gentle unfolding of life reflect in your own chest, your own breath. At certain bends, small bridges rise from the water, worn smooth by countless travelers. Their wooden planks hum softly under gentle footsteps, and the air carries the mingled scent of incense and river reeds. Monks cross with measured steps, hands brushing railings, letting each movement ground them in the present. Warriors pause mid-step, looking into the water, seeing their reflection and the candlelight dancing across it. You float across these bridges, feeling their quiet rhythm settle your mind and body alike. Lanterns drift downriver, carrying soft glows into deeper shadows. Each one seems alive, moving with purpose yet free of haste. Pilgrims whisper prayers into the flames, letting their words float along the surface like petals. Warriors let the lanterns pass, watching as devotion moves forward without struggle or force. You drift with these lanterns, letting their gentle journey guide your awareness, each movement a meditation, each glow a tender pulse in the quiet night. The river flows through ancient ruins, stone walls softened by moss and time. These were once sites of gathering, where warriors and monks alike prepared for the days ahead, consulting scrolls and sacred texts before setting out along the currents. The stones remember the soft footfalls, the quiet prayers, the calm determination of those who passed here. You drift among the ruins, letting memory and stone teach you stillness, letting the gentle history settle into your own awareness. Water laps softly against the riverbank, carrying with it the faint echoes of drums, the soft hum of chants, the subtle cadence of shields brushing together. Nothing is hurried, nothing is harsh. Every sound blends into a slow rhythm, a lullaby of devotion moving steadily through the night. You float with this rhythm, letting your chest rise and fall in time with the river, letting your thoughts dissolve into its flow. Somewhere upstream, monks release small boats carrying petals, oils, and gentle prayers. The vessels drift along quietly, guided by the water's patient current. Warriors watch from the banks, letting the soft motion remind them of flow, of patience, of the gentle balance of action and reflection. You drift alongside these boats, imagining the soft ripple of water carrying intention, letting the calm reach into your own chest, steady and serene. The river twists through shaded groves, where fireflies float like tiny lanterns above the water. Their glow mirrors the stars above, a quiet echo between earth and sky. Pilgrims kneel, monks bow, warriors pause, each presence a note in the symphony of night. You float beneath the fireflies, letting their soft, flickering light settle in your mind, slowing every thought, softening every tension. Candlelight mingles with moonlight, reflections rippling across the water's surface. Every shimmer feels deliberate, yet effortless like devotion itself, flowing without strain, glowing without need. You drift through these reflections, letting the soft interplay of light and shadow calm your eyes, your thoughts, your awareness. Every ripple, every glow, every flicker is a gentle guide deeper into rest. Along the banks, small shrines mark places of remembrance, of courage, of devotion. Monks kneel in quiet reflection. Warriors bow in respect, the air thick with gentle reverence. Water moves slowly past these shrines, carrying memories downstream, smoothing the edges of worry, washing away the haste of the day. You drift among these waters, letting their steady flow fill every part of your being with serenity and ease. The river widens, flowing through open valleys where lanterns float in long, gentle lines. Their golden light stretches into the distance, mirrored perfectly in the water. Pilgrims walk along the banks, chanting softly, letting their words mingle with the rhythm of the river. Warriors stand at intervals, quietly vigilant, their presence calm and measured. You drift with the river, letting the combination of light, motion, and gentle human devotion carry you further into peaceful awareness. The night deepens, stars multiplying overhead, reflecting in every pool and eddy of the river. Lanterns glow faintly, incense smoke curls lazily, and the water's flow hums a quiet song of devotion, continuity, and calm. You drift among it all, letting the river carry your thoughts, your breath, and your awareness into soft repose. Let us drift onward, past floating lanterns, past reflective pools, past soft bridges and lotus petals. Let the calm flow of water, the gentle rhythm of devotion, and the soft glow of night carry you deeper into rest. Now rest as the rivers hold every whisper of prayer, every flicker of candle, and every gentle presence, cradling your mind into serenity and sleep. Night descends slowly over the valleys, drawing a veil of silver and shadow across hills and rivers. The moon hangs low, casting a gentle, pearly light over ancient stones and quiet meadows. You drift through this landscape, feeling the cool air brush your skin, carrying the subtle scent of earth and pine. Every inhalation feels soft, every exhalation releases tension, as if the world itself sighs in contentment. Beneath this moonlight, the faintest sounds rise, soft, distant, and tender. Voices, almost imperceptible, whisper across forgotten valleys. They hum in harmony, a chorus of souls long past, each note gentle, calm, and soothing. You drift toward the melody, letting it wrap around your awareness, like a soft blanket of sound that fills the spaces between thoughts, easing your mind into serenity. These were the voices of ancients, monks and warriors whose lives intertwined with devotion and courage. Even in battle, they carried a quiet song within them, a rhythm that guided hand and heart alike. The chant moves through the valleys like water, flowing steadily, carrying calm into places once filled with clamor. You float along this current, letting its soft resonance settle through your chest, your shoulders, your mind. Stone temples rise on hilltops, their outlines softened by moonlight and mist. You drift closer, noticing carvings along their walls, scenes of ritual, of prayer, of moments when devotion steadied the heart before the clash of swords. Candles flicker faintly inside, their gentle light tracing arches and pillars, illuminating figures in quiet meditation. Each flicker is like a heartbeat, reminding you that calm can exist even amid preparation, even amid tension. Along the valleys, grass bends under soft night breezes, whispering in harmony with the distant chants. Birds rest in the branches above, their feathers barely stirring as if listening. Even the wind seems to move with care, brushing over the land in slow, deliberate caresses. You drift through this subtle symphony, letting each sound and movement carry your thoughts away, leaving only the gentle present. The ancients' voices speak not with urgency, but with purpose. They chant blessings for courage, for clarity, for gentle strength. Warriors pause at these echoes, closing their eyes, letting the calm settle in their hands, their muscles, their breathing. Monks kneel beside pools of water, letting ripples carry the faint vibrations outward, merging with the moonlit reflections. You float among these ripples, letting each circle expand softly through your mind, soothing every tension, quieting every worry. Lanterns hang along temple eaves and scattered pathways, glowing softly, casting gentle pools of light onto worn stone. The shadows they create bend smoothly around pillars and steps, wrapping the night in tender folds. Pilgrims move quietly beneath them, hands folded, steps measured, letting their presence echo the calm of the chanting voices. Warriors pass in silence, shields resting lightly at their sides, letting faith and preparation guide their path. You drift along, letting the interplay of light and shadow, sound and stillness, lull your thoughts into peace. Water flows gently through the valleys, reflecting the silver of moonlight and the faint flicker of distant candles. Small boats float, carrying soft offerings, petals, and incense, drifting along with the current. The ancients' voices rise and fall over the river, harmonizing with its gentle flow. You drift with the water, feeling the steady movement guide your own breathing, each ripple a soft reminder of devotion, patience, and serene presence. Occasionally, a soft drum echoes from the temples on the hills. It is low, slow, deliberate, not a call to action, but a heartbeat of the land itself. Warriors let the sound steady them. Monks let it deepen their meditation, and you float alongside, letting the vibration carry through your chest, steadying your breath and quieting your thoughts. Every note feels like a gentle hand, brushing away the tension of the day, leaving only calm. Along the riverbanks, small altars rise from stone and earth. Each bears offerings of fruit, flowers, and candles, gifts carried by those who honored courage and devotion alike. Monks kneel in quiet reflection, whispering blessings to the water, to the valley, to the silent choir that fills the night. Warriors pause here as well, letting the energy of presence settle into their hands and hearts. You drift among these offerings, letting their soft light, scent, and intention fill your own awareness with warmth. The ancient song moves across hills, threading through valleys, curling around stones, gliding over grass and water alike. Each voice carries not only the memory of battle, but also the patience and calm that tempered it. You float through this song, letting its gentle cadence synchronize with your heartbeat, letting every soft note soothe your mind, your shoulders, your chest. Soft incense smoke rises from temple altars, curling lazily into the night air. The scent is subtle, a mixture of sandalwood and jasmine, carrying calm and clarity with every breath. Pilgrims inhale slowly, letting each scent ripple through their awareness. Warriors pause mid-step, allowing the fragrance to remind them of quiet focus, of inner peace. You drift through this haze, letting every inhalation carry serenity deeper into your being. Candles glow along bridges and pathways, their reflections mirrored perfectly in still pools of water. The ancients' voices echo faintly across these surfaces, creating soft loops of sound and light. Each reflection is a gentle meditation, each echo a quiet guide into awareness and presence. You float with them, letting the soft interplay of sound, light, and shadow carry every thought into gentle repose. The moon rises higher, bathing the valleys in gentle silver. Temples stand solemnly, rivers flow steadily, and the choir of ancients continues softly, endlessly. Warriors and monks alike pause to listen, letting the calm infuse every movement, every thought, every breath. You drift among them, feeling the quiet power of harmony, letting it fill your chest and mind with deep, steady peace. Soft petals float downriver, carried on the water alongside offerings and reflections. The ancients' voices move over them, blending with the gentle current, creating a lullaby of devotion and courage. You drift among these petals, letting each one brush against the edges of your awareness, each one softening tension, each one easing your mind into quiet rest. Along the hills, wind brushes across stone walls and temple steps, carrying the soft resonance of distant bells. The sound is faint but deliberate, blending with the echoing chants, the ripple of water, and the soft glow of lanterns. Every note, every ripple, every flicker of light moves in harmony, guiding you gently towards sleep, steady and unhurried. The ancient song becomes a gentle hum, merging with the whisper of night and the rhythm of water. Warriors lay down their shields, monks close their eyes, and the moon casts a final silver glow across valleys and rivers alike. You drift with this calm, letting it fill every part of your being, settling each muscle, each thought, each breath. Let us drift onward, past the flickering candles, past the reflective waters, past the soft, echoing song of the ancients. Let the harmony of devotion, courage, and calm carry you into deeper peace. Now rest, as the silent choir continues above and around, as rivers flow gently, and the moon watches over every valley, cradling your mind into serenity and sleep. The sky deepens into twilight, stretching its indigo veil across hills and valleys. Soft shadows grow long, wrapping the land in quiet, velvety folds. You float gently through this space, feeling the cooling air brush against your skin, carrying the faint scent of earth, incense, and distant flowers. Each breath is a soft wave, drawing calm deeper into your chest, settling every thought as the night gathers around. Above, the first stars begin to twinkle, like tiny lanterns hung in the vast darkness. They shimmer with quiet light, each one a memory of courage, devotion, and gentle faith. Across ancient temples, now resting in stillness, the moon's silver glow drapes columns and stone steps, softening their edges, illuminating carvings of warriors and monks who once moved through the day with intention and prayer. You drift among these shadows, letting the soft gleam of moonlight settle your mind. The echoes of old chants rise faintly on the wind, carried from distant valleys and hillsides. Each note is slow, deliberate, resonating with a calm that seems to touch the very bones of the earth. Warriors and monks, long gone, whisper their devotion through time, their courage now transformed into gentle guidance. You float through these echoes, letting them wash over your shoulders, your hands, your chest, settling your awareness into softness. Along the hillsides, soft winds stir grasses and leaves, weaving through the quiet of the night. They brush past lanterns hung on temple eaves, flickering their light in gentle rhythms. In this dance of wind, shadow, and light, you sense the bravery of those who walked these paths long ago. They carried courage not as a storm, but as a quiet fire, steady and unwavering. You let this warmth settle within you, a gentle glow of inner strength, soft as the moonlight itself. Across still waters, reflections shimmer like silver glass. The rivers that once carried offerings now mirror the night sky, reflecting stars and temple lights alike. Boats drift slowly, empty but for their memories, moving without hurry. The gentle motion of water carries the weight of devotion, the calm persistence of faith. You float alongside, letting each ripple rock your awareness into a serene rhythm, each soft curve of water smoothing tension from your mind. Ancient paths, worn by countless feet, hum faintly under the night's embrace. You wander along them softly, guided by the hush of trees, the gentle murmur of hidden streams. Each stone seems to remember the prayers of those who once walked here, and each step you imagine takes you deeper into calm, as though you, too, are part of this quiet procession of reverence. Candles flicker in small shrines along the way, their light gentle, warm, and unhurried. The smoke drifts slowly upward, curling in soft, deliberate spirals. You breathe it in, letting the scent of sandalwood and amber settle into your awareness, quieting any remaining thoughts that cling to the edges of your mind. The flame does not demand attention, only invites presence, an invitation you accept without effort. In the distance, temple bells sound softly, their resonance long and measured. They do not ring in urgency, but in remembrance, in gratitude, in acknowledgement of courage tempered by calm. The sound moves slowly across valleys and hills, harmonizing with the rustle of leaves, the murmur of rivers, and the faint hum of the ancient choir that never truly leaves. You float through this gentle symphony, letting each note blend seamlessly into your own breathing, softening, slowing, settling. You pass stone altars, once adorned with offerings of flowers, fruits, and candlelight. Now in the quiet of night, they radiate memory. Each carved symbol, each gentle curve of stone, carries the soft resonance of faith. Warriors paused here, monks knelt, and you feel the gentle imprint of their presence, as if courage and devotion have been pressed softly into the earth itself. You drift above these sacred places, letting the weight of history and holiness settle into a gentle peace within you. The moon rises higher, casting silver light across hills, valleys, and flowing rivers. Every surface it touches glows with subtle beauty. The soft shimmer of water, the rounded edges of stones, the delicate flutter of leaves in the night wind. Courage here is not loud. It does not shout. It moves quietly like the moonlight itself, illuminating paths without disturbing the night. You feel this quiet power within your chest, a soft, steady warmth that spreads through your limbs, relaxing every muscle, easing every thought. Soft whispers float from temple steps, the remnants of prayers long passed from lips now still. They mingle with the night air, brushing against the branches, drifting along riverbanks, and brushing softly across your face. Each whisper is a tender echo, reminding you that courage need not be fierce to be real, that faith need not shout to be strong. You let these whispers sink into your awareness, deepening your sense of calm, your sense of presence, your sense of gentle, enduring strength. As night deepens, you move past ancient walls, through quiet courtyards and along soft, grass-lined paths. Each step in imagination carries you farther from worry, closer to the gentle embrace of sleep. The ancients' voices, the flicker of candlelight, the murmur of water, the rustle of trees, all join in a delicate, flowing harmony, inviting your mind to release every last fragment of tension. You float freely through this nocturnal sanctuary, cradled by echoes of devotion. In the quiet hills, shadows deepen, and the soft chorus of the past continues to drift across the valleys. You see the faint outlines of warriors kneeling, monks resting, pilgrims pausing in reflection. There is no hurry here, no call to action. Only the soft hum of presence, the gentle reminder that bravery and faith exist in quiet, steady forms. You feel them brushing against your own heartbeat, settling your thoughts, softening your chest, easing your mind toward serenity. Rivers wind gently through the valleys, reflecting the pale moon and the faint candlelight from distant shrines. Petals drift slowly along their surfaces, carried in the same current that once bore offerings and prayers. You imagine yourself floating with them, carried effortlessly, allowing every ripple to smooth tension, to slow your thoughts, to cradle you in gentle rhythm. The night moves in harmony, and you are part of its soft, lulling motion. Lanterns glow softly along temple roofs and bridges, creating pools of warm light in the midst of shadow. Their reflections stretch across calm waters, dancing slowly with each small breeze. The entire landscape seems to breathe, inhale, and exhale in soft, deliberate rhythm. You drift among these lights, letting them illuminate not just the world, but the quiet, steady courage within yourself. The ancients' choir hums in the background, a gentle, unbroken melody that weaves through every shadow and every moonbeam. Each note carries peace, patience, and courage. Warriors and monks alike listened long ago, letting it guide their hearts. And now you drift within its embrace, feeling your own spirit settle, your own mind quiet, your own body relaxing into the gentle rhythm of night. Soft incense curls through the air, carrying the subtle sense of devotion. Sandalwood, myrrh, jasmine. Each inhalation draws the calm deeper. Each exhalation releases the weight of the day. You drift in this fragrance, letting it thread through every fiber of your being, calming every thought, softening every muscle, easing you into rest. The moonlight grows serene, the rivers move smoothly, and the hills cradle the quiet of night. Lanterns flicker softly, and distant bells echo faintly in perfect harmony. The gentle chorus of ancients continues, carrying courage in its soft, eternal rhythm. You float freely, enveloped by the harmony of devotion and the soft embrace of night. Let us drift onward, past candlelight, past silver rivers, past the whispers of the ancients. Let the soft echoes of bravery and devotion settle within, filling every corner of your mind with peace. Let the quiet courage of those long gone guide you gently, softly, into sleep. Now rest as the stars return, as the moon watches over every hill and river, and as the night itself holds you tenderly in its calm embrace.